Good evening, hello and welcome. You're with the news today. This is your primetime destination news. Newsmakers, talking points, plenty on this Friday night ahead. The big talking point, will the Hathras victim finally get justice? This on a day when the CBI files a charge sheet saying it's rape and murder. Also, why has the Modi government so far failed to win the farmers' trust in Punjab in particular? Our exclusive guest tonight, Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri, will join us. All that and plenty more on the news today. But first, the 9 headlines at 9 tonight. 3 months after a 19-year-old Dalit girl was brutalized in Hathras, the CBI files a charge sheet, invokes charges of murder and gang rape against the 4 accused. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's fresh outreach on new farm laws assures farmers that MSP and Mandi system will stay, accuses the Congress of failing to reform the agriculture sector. The farmers say repeal or no end to agitation. 1,600 people, including DMK chief MK Stalin, booked for holding a day-long fast in solidarity with the protesting farmers. Police say the protest was held without official permission. A day before Home Minister Amit Shah's Bengal visit, Centre tells State's Chief Secretary and DGP to ensure no untoward incident takes place, directs top officials to maintain law and order. One more jolt to Mamata Banerjee as rebellion continues in the TMC after Suvendu Adhikari and Jitendra Tiwari. One more Trinamool MP, Shilbhadra Datta, quits the party. No breakthrough as India and China hold fresh diplomatic talks to end the Ladakh standoff. MEA says both sides agreed to work towards disengagement in all LAC friction points. AIDMK asks Rajnikant to join the ruling party for MGR-like governance, slams Kamal Hassan for claiming ex-CM MGR's legacy. Centre to spend around 10,000 crores for phase 1 of the vaccination drive in the country. Around 30 crore Indians, including healthcare and frontline workers and elderly, to get the vaccine first. But our top story today, the Central Bureau of Investigation has filed a charge sheet in the Hathras gang rape and murder case. 4 people have been named as accused and charged with murder and gang rape. As the victim's family seeks justice, politics continues in the case. The opposition has demanded Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath's resignation on moral grounds, claiming that the UP police had engaged in a cover-up. Here's our top story today of a case that deserves greater attention. Take a look.
ये दोनों मिले हुए हैं, तो उस समय तो बच गए आप। फिर उस दिन जिस दिन आपकी चोट लगी है, उस दिन रेप हुआ है। अच्छा, दोनों ने किया था, कोई और भी था?
वो दोनों थे, पर बाकी सब भाग गए थे।
अच्छा, बाकी सब भाग गए थे।
More than 3 months after the alleged gang rape of a Dalit woman in Hathras, the CBI on Friday filed a charge sheet against 4 accused based on the victim's dying declaration. The accused are charged with murder and gang rape. The Central Probe Agency has also slapped causes under the Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribe Prevention of Atrocities Act.
CBI ने ये पाया कि क्योंकि डायरेक्ट डिक्लेरेशन है, उसमें जो लास्ट का 22 तारीख वाला बयान है, उसको बेस मानते हुए उन्होंने कहा ये कोर्ट के ऊपर छोड़ते हैं निर्णय, और चार्जशीट चारों के खिलाफ दाखिल कर दिए और आज कोर्ट ने संज्ञान ले लिया है.
The CBI charge sheet is at variance with the UP police, which had claimed no rape took place, citing a forensic report. The victim's family is questioning the manner in which the body of the 19-year-old was cremated without allowing them to conduct the last rites.
डीएम सर ने जो भी किया है और यूपी की सरकार बार बार यही कह रही है कि डीएम साहब ने कुछ भी गलत नहीं किया है, तो जो अंतिम जो संस्कार होता है उसमें चेहरा वगैरह दिखाने की बात रही हो, हम लोगों को इस तरीका से उन्होंने प्रताड़ित किया, उस चीज को देख के हम लोगों को लग रहा है कि डीएम साहब को जल्द से जल्द हटाया जाए.
The 19-year-old woman had succumbed to her injuries at a hospital in Delhi on 29th September.
क्या चल रहा है इतना बस बता दीजिए सर, बस इतना सा मुझे बता दीजिए, बस मेरी इंफॉर्मेशन. मैं क्राइम.
The alleged gang rape and the subsequent death of the victim had triggered massive protests across the country, forcing the Yogi Adityanath government to recommend a CBI probe into the case. The opposition has once again sought to corner the UP government, with Congress General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi saying the truth had triumphed in the end. Former Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav also welcomed the charge sheet.
जब सीबीआई ने चार्जशीट दाखिल कर दी है तो क्या उत्तर प्रदेश की सरकार अपनी जवाबदेही मानते हुए नैतिकता के आधार पर त्याग पत्र देगी? अगर जरा भी नैतिकता बची है तो तत्काल उत्तर प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री को त्याग पत्र दे देना चाहिए।
Earlier, the UP police had come out and said that the Hathras victim was not raped, but she died due to a cervical spine injury. The CBI's charge sheet nullifies UP police's claim and has booked all 4 accused in sections of gang rape, murder and under the SC/ST Act. The family has a sense of vindication but has asked for the case to be transferred to Delhi. Milan Sharma for India Today.
Let's raise some big questions tonight. Will the victim's family finally get justice? Should heads roll now in the Uttar Pradesh administration? Guilty of a cover-up, as some are now saying. First, I want to go to the victim's brother. आप बताएं, आज जब चार्जशीट में साफ कहा गया कि जो 4 अक्यूज्ड हैं उन्होंने रेप और मर्डर किया आपके बहन क्या आज एक तरह से परिवार को कुछ तो एक संतुष्टि या कुछ एक दिलासा मिल गया है कि कुछ ना कुछ न्याय मिलेगा?
जी हाँ सर, आज तो संतुष्टि आई है हमारे मन में, क्योंकि आज सीबीआई ने हम चार्जशीट दायर करी है कोर्ट में, और जो हमारी बहन की जो आवाज थी आज तो हमारे हो सकता है आगे हमारी बहन के लिए न्याय मिलने की उम्मीद है।
क्या अभी भी कोई डर है कि पुलिस या सरकार आपका साथ नहीं देगी? ये बार बार कहा गया था कि सरकार के कुछ लोगों ने सवाल उठाए, आप पर भी उठाए, परिवार पर उठाए। क्या एक तरह से आपका विश्वास उठ गया था सरकार से, योगी सरकार से? क्या आज विश्वास है कि न्याय मिल सकता है?
जी नहीं, पुलिस पे तो हमें पूरा विश्वास नहीं था, पहले से नहीं था, क्योंकि उन्होंने हमारे साथ 14 तारीख से लेके और पूरे जब मेरी बहन चली गई उसके तक तो उन्होंने, और अभी तक सीआरपीएफ से पहले तक उन्होंने पूरी तरह से हमारे साथ बहुत ज्यादा गलत व्यवहार किया था हमारे साथ। डीएम साहब ने हमारे साथ सबसे ज्यादा किया है, डीएम साहब ने सबसे ज्यादा हमारे साथ किया। पुलिस तो कर ही रही है, पर उनके साथ जो डीएम है और जो उनके साथ जो साथ और भी है नीचे, पूरी तरह से उन्होंने हमारे साथ ऐसा करा जैसे जाति दुश्मनी हो हमारी कोई उनसे।
तो फिर क्या कहेंगे योगी सरकार से या पुलिस अधिकारियों से जिन्होंने बार बार कहा रेप भी नहीं हुआ है, या कहा कि परिवार कुछ छुपा रहा है? सरकार के व्यक्ति ने जिस तरह से आपके परिवार पर उंगली उठा रही थी, क्या कहेंगे आज आप योगी सरकार को?
उन लोगों सर मैं यही कहूंगा कि वो अपने आप को देखे पहले का आईने में कि ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है जो अपने बेटी को, कोई अपने बहन को ऐसे कोई करेगा। जो सच है वो कभी छिपता नहीं, कितने लाख तुम झूठ बोलो, सच तो सच रहेगा।
मैं आपकी भाभी जी से भी बात करना चाहता हूं। क्या मैम आप क्या कहना चाहेंगी? बताइए, आज आप जब आपने सुना कि चार्जशीट हुई है, 4 लोगों को एक तरह से रेप और मर्डर चार्जेस पर उस चार्जशीट में उनके नाम है, क्या कहेंगी आज उन लोगों को जिन्होंने एक तरह से आपके बहन के साथ जो हुआ उसको उन्होंने जिस तरह से जिस दिशा में ले जाने की कोशिश की? क्या कहेंगे आज उन लोगों को?
जैसे कि आदमी मतलब सुधार नहीं हुआ, इतना सब कुछ होने के बावजूद भी लोग सुधर नहीं रहे हैं। उस स्थिति में नहीं है कि इस चीज को उसमें नहीं ले रहे हैं कि ये सब कुछ किया है इन लोगों ने।
जी, क्या कहीं ना कहीं लेकिन डर का माहौल अभी भी है? क्या कहीं ना कहीं आपको अभी भी डर है कि जो पुलिस वहां है हाथरस में वो आपको पूरी तरह से न्याय देगी, या आपको डरा रही है?
डर का माहौल तो वो इन्हीं लोगों ने बनाया है, सरकार की तरफ से बनाया। हम लोगों की तो इतना कुछ ऐसा नहीं था और ना ही हो सकता था, मगर इन लोगों ने इतना प्रेशर डाल के हर चीज को एकदम बढ़ावा दे दिया। और सरकार की बोली जाए तो इन्होंने पता नहीं क्या समझाएगा, आरोपियों को बचाने के चक्कर में पूरी सरकारी उल्टी पुल्टी हो गई। और डीएम साहब ने तो बहुत कुछ ऐसा किया है कि जो
तो आप मुझे कह रही हैं
बोलने के
कि
लायक-
आप मुझे कह रही हैं कि प्रशासन ने, यूपी के प्रशासन ने आरोपियों को बचाने की पूरी कोशिश की, क्या सही है ये आप कह रही हैं?
पूरी कोशिश की है सर, क्योंकि अब जहाँ तक सीबीआई की बात थी तो सीबीआई से भरोसा भी था, कुछ नहीं भी था, क्योंकि दोनों चीज पर वो था कि सीबीआई भी उन्हीं लोगों की लगाई हुई थी, तो उस तरीका से विश्वास कम था। अब जो सब कुछ ठीक ठाक हुआ है तो ऐसा लग रहा है कि न्याय मिलेगा, सब कुछ होगा, मगर आज उतना वो नहीं हो रहा है कि नहीं आज हमें खुशी हो किसी के, आज चारों आरोपियों को आरोपी साबित किया है तो खुशी बोल के नहीं है, क्योंकि हमारे घर की जो बच्ची है वो वापस तो लौट के नहीं आएगी। अब जो जंग हम लोग लड़ाई लड़ रहे हैं वो दूसरी और बेटियों के साथ में ऐसा ना हो, इसलिए हम लोग इस चीज को आगे तक भी ले जाएंगे और पीछे नहीं हटने वाले हैं।
यही मैं आपसे पूछने वाला था आखिर में, आप पीछे नहीं हटेगी, जितना भी दबाव जो सरकार के यंत्रणा ने डाला हो, पुलिस कर्मियों ने डाला हो, आप पीछे नहीं हटने वाली, आप न्याय लेंगी जब तक इन 4 लोगों को एक तरह से कन्विक्ट नहीं किया जाए?
नहीं सर, नहीं, जो भी अब आगे जो कुछ भी होगा उसे सब कुछ झेलेंगे और आगे तक इस चीज को अंजाम देंगे, क्योंकि अब जो भी आगे पीढ़ी तक जो बेटियां हैं हमारे भारत में, अब हर एक बेटी को इस तरीका से कोई माँ परिवार ऐसे बलिदान नहीं चढ़ाएगा कि अचानक से सब कुछ कर दिया, प्रशासन को पोती कर दी। ये चीज अब नहीं होनी चाहिए। अभी भी लोगों की आंख कान ना खुले तो ये तो बहुत ही गंदा एकदम वो बन जाएगा कि समाज जीने लायक ही नहीं छोड़ेंगे ये लोग। तो
आपने बहुत बड़ी बात की। आप एक तरह से कह रही है ये लड़ाई केवल आपकी नहीं है, समाज की है। जब भी इस तरह की घटना होती है एक तरह से प्रशासन कोशिश करता है दबाने की, लेकिन आप ना डरेंगी ना झुकेंगी। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया भाभी जी, और आप भी सर, आप यहाँ आए, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। द ब्रदर एंड द भाभी ऑफ द गर्ल हु वाज रेप्ड एंड मर्डर्ड. I want to go straight across to Gaurav Bhatia and Ghanshyam Tiwari for quick political reactions. Ghanshyam Tiwari is Samajwadi Party spokesperson. Gaurav Bhatia is the BJP spokesperson. Mr. Bhatia, today are you willing to at least be a little contrite and say that the UP police in some way must be hauled up for trying to cover up a brutal gang rape and murder of a Dalit woman? Will you at least concede that, sir?
No, I would go a little further, Rajdeep. Every such brutal rape that happens is something that the government is very sensitive about. And our priority remains that justice should be meted out to the family as early as possible. And that is why I think it is a step in the right direction that CBI has investigated the matter and has made a charge sheet, that too under very heinous charges.
No, but can I just point out to you, I'm glad you're saying that, sir, but you may remember that the UP ADG Law and Order Prashant Kumar had said the report of the FSL had come. It clearly says samples did not contain sperm. It makes clear there was no rape or gang rape. Now, this was the stand of the police, and there was every attempt made in some way or the other to discredit the family as well. So, I mean, someone must be held accountable surely. If the CBI charge sheet eventually passes muster in court, who will be held accountable for the cover-up, sir?
Okay. So, quick points. First of all, Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji himself, and it was out in the public domain, spoke to the Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath ji. Yogi Adityanath ji also met the family members and had intervened, and action was taken. The accused, 4 of them were arrested. Second, the erring officers were suspended. The SP was suspended. And you are right that if a public servant, be it an IPS officer or an IAS officer, if there is a charge of dereliction of duty, our government is very sensitive.
You're sensitive only after, if I may say so, after intense media and political and public pressure, sir. With due regard, sir, the UP government was targeting the journalists. Journalists were being accused of sedition for telling the truth. Today, I am glad you are being contrite, but let's be clear, sir. It was under pressure that a lot of these decisions were taken.
Interrupted. That's my only request, and that too because this is a very sensitive subject. I think you should be fair at least to give me a minute to place the facts and then whatever
Yes.
questions you have, you can ask me, Rajdeep.
Yes.
So I would only say that action was taken, and if there is an officer who did not act as per the rule book, action has been taken, and this matter is sub judice before the Allahabad High Court. The Allahabad High Court is looking into all aspects. So I think we should have respect for the court of the country. But I must say one thing, Rajdeep,
Yes.
that CBI also comes under the superintendence of the central government. They have done some exemplary work, and I think you will agree with me when I say that speedy justice needs to be delivered to the family members. They should be provided adequate security, which they have been provided, and this remains our priority. Now you want to make it a political discussion, that is fine with me.
Okay, let me take that to Ghanshyam Tiwari. Ghanshyam Tiwari, the BJP spokesperson, says, look, we have provided protection to the family. We handed over the case to the CBI. The CBI today has filed a charge sheet of rape and murder. What more is the government supposed to do now?
Well, it's a case where BJP comes so upfront that as if they have no shame. Look at the chronology of this entire event. When the girl was raped, the police did not help. No one in the administration helped till the time she was on her deathbed. Her body was snatched away from the family. Falsely, the police said that with family consent, they manufactured the consent and burned the body. The Chief Minister's office was in direct contact. Even in the Allahabad High Court that took suo motu notice, they have not submitted the SIT report that says the DM has wronged. And why are they saving the DM? Because saving the DM is saving the CM. The orders came straight from the Chief Minister's office. The girl's character was maligned. Her CDR records were leaked. Discussions happened. Journalists' phones were taken away. Phones were tapped. The family was threatened again and again. The family is saying to the extent that they are in such disbelief that they don't even believe in CBI because CBI bhi inhi logon ki hai. This is what I heard. In fact, BJP leaders held rallies in support of the criminals. Throughout, BJP stood steadfast with the criminals politically, administratively, and at the Chief Minister's office. The Chief Minister acted after hearing from the Prime Minister. Smriti Irani, who's a member of Parliament from Uttar Pradesh, kept quiet. She's quiet till this date. Not one leader from BJP, one MP from BJP spoke in the favor of the girl. Not one woman MP from BJP from Uttar Pradesh spoke in favor of the girl. This is a new Taliban kingdom where the Chief Minister acts like Taliban Singh. They will stand up with the criminals, and when the CBI frames charges, they will say we did the right thing. There is a limit to shamelessness.
You made your point. You made a point. You've given us the chronology. I want you to respond, Gaurav Bhatia, because let's be honest today. The fact is, a lot of what Ghanshyam Tiwari says, maybe you will say he's from the opposition politics, but the fact is, all those facts are true. There were local BJP leaders who were supporting the criminals. Many of your senior women leaders did not speak out for days and weeks on end on this issue. That's true. And the DM in particular was apparently being protected directly from Lucknow. These are the hard facts. Why not accept that this comes as a huge embarrassment to your own government?
So Rajdeep, I hope I'll not be interrupted because I did not interrupt Mr. Ghanshyam Tiwari. Party spokesperson of Samajwadi Party saying shame. This is the same party, and since he has made it political, I must respond with some facts. And I also need to refresh his memory. His party chief had said, लड़के हैं, लड़कों से गलती हो जाती है, gang rape कुछ होता नहीं है. Badayu rape case.
Sir, can we focus on this?
No.
Forget, they are not in power. What they have done, we have questioned them many times. No, I want to know about this, about Hathras. Today is about Hathras. Let's not go to Badayu.
No, please. I think you have to be fair to
I will be fair to you if you can respond to his specific...
I will respond to it politically.
Okay.
What is wrong with that? Why you paying?
In jail?
Why you
paying? Just a minute,
please.
In jail Ghanshyam ji, please.
Exposing the truth.
Ghanshyam ji, please.
You have no response to what is happening today, and you will respond to what happened 4 years back when you were part of Samajwadi Party.
That would be appreciated.
Ghanshyam ji, let him respond. Ghanshyam ji, he did not intervene with you. Please let him respond. Go ahead, Gaurav Bhatia.
Yeah, now, why these facts which I will be placing are very relevant? Because I was reminding Mr. Ghanshyam Tiwari of Badayu rape case, where Mr. Akhilesh Yadav said that this is a case of suicide. And when a press reporter, Rajdeep, asked him, Akhilesh Yadav as the CM, that what is happening in the case. He told the female reporter, "आप तो ठीक है ना, आपके साथ तो कुछ नहीं हुआ." Now the numbers, which are very important. When SP was in power in 2016, and I'm quoting from NCRB, every rape, I think, is something that is unfortunate and action needs to be taken. But has the law and order situation in UP improved? This is a good measure at least to determine that. 2016, there were 4,816 rape cases. Now in 2019, it has come down to 3,065, a reduction of almost 50%. My second point is, do you know the lawlessness that prevailed during the SP era? I have in my hand the judgment and the order of the Supreme Court in the case of Gayatri Prajapati. They were flouting what the Supreme Court said. In a rape case,
Gaurav Bhatia, I will not allow this today at least to be made SP versus BJP because today it is your government in power. Sir, if it was Akhilesh Yadav, I will ask questions to whoever is in power. You are in power today. You are in power today. You have to answer that you mismanaged the Hathras case. You questioned the girl's family. You questioned the version of the girl's brothers. I mean, surely the government of the day is responsible, sir. Let's not have this whataboutery every time. What happened in the Samajwadi Party days?
No, this is not whataboutery, first of all.
Of course it is.
And I am completely in agreement with what you are saying to the extent that the state government is responsible when such a dastardly act is committed. Okay. But what am I raising? Please understand. My first point is reduction in rape cases under Yogi Adityanath ji by 50%. I think it is a valid point at least to state. Second, NCRB data, maximum number of rape cases. They have happened in Rajasthan with 1/3 the population. There are twice the number of cases. I ask you, why is it that Priyanka Vadra Gandhi, while she was laughing with Rahul Gandhi visiting the rape victim's family, doesn't go to Rajasthan? And Rajdeep, let me quote from your channel what the reporters heard from the residents of that village. Now listen to this. When a group of women were asked, how is the law and order situation? This report is of 7th of October 2020 of Aaj Tak in India Today. All the females there responded by saying, महिला सुरक्षित है योगी सरकार में. यहाँ पे जो आग लगा रहे हैं वो प्रियंका गांधी है. वो क्यों नहीं जाती राजस्थान? ये आपके चैनल ने दिखाया था, मैंने नहीं.
Sir,
in the end, I would say, please listen.
Yes.
The honor of a woman, whether he belongs to Uttar Pradesh or Rajasthan or any other state, does not depend on whether it is a BJP ruled state or a Congress ruled state. Honor of a woman is equal, and we all should work together to protect that honor and dignity.
And I also want to tell you, whether it is Samajwadi Party or BJP or Congress, the fact is it's the police.
Case from Samajwadi Party.
It is the police.
लड़के हैं, लड़कों से गलती हो जाती है. If you try to make it political, I will keep on asking. Why were they doing a Facebook live?
Let Ghanshyam get a final word. Of course, Gaurav
Bhatia. So I am also answering politically.
Okay, Gaurav Bhatia, let's not go back into the past of the Samajwadi Party. My focus is on today. Ghanshyam Tiwari, quick last statement. Quick last statement.
So you tell me, you get Ghanshyam Tiwari to make it political, but you will tell me don't make it political.
No,
Are you not the editor?
Okay.
Why did you invite him then? I'm asking
just a minute now.
If you invite Samajwadi Party, I will remind him of the lawlessness.
Okay.
I will remind him.
Those were the days when you were in the Samajwadi Party, of course, Mr. Bhatia. But a quick final word.
आप भी तो CNN में थे. आप भी तो CNN में थे, NDTV में थे. तो मैं क्या बोलूं? So why
you are comparing a TV channel with a political party?
I don't believe in the ideology of Samajwadi Party. I left it. You have a problem with that. मैं भी बोलूं, आप CNN में क्यों थे? आप NDTV में क्यों थे?
I am very proud of being in those channels. I don't know whether you are proud of being in the Samajwadi Party and switching sides.
I am not proud. I am not proud of being in Samajwadi Party जहाँ ये कहा जाता है.
Okay, Ghanshyam Tiwari, you have 30 seconds to respond because I need to move on. Ghanshyam Tiwari.
I will only say that to your viewers, it is fair that I quote the statistics.
Yes.
UP reported the highest number of crimes against women, 59,853, accounting for 14.7% of such cases. Year over year, the crime against women in UP has risen. This falsification of Gaurav Bhatia will not hide the fact that the chief minister must resign. He is responsible. This Taliban Singh rule of Uttar Pradesh must end.
No, why
you
should
cannot
the chief
have an
minister?
entire state government.
No, 1 minute. 1 minute,
He
Ghanshyam.
can
Why
make
should
it
the chief
political.
minister? No, 1 minute now, Gaurav Bhatia. Why should the chief minister resign on this?
Did
look at
Akhilesh
the
Yadav
sequence.
resign?
No,
He had
1 minute.
to
When
act
there
when
were
the Prime Minister
50,000 rape cases during his
He had
5-year
to act when
tenure,
the Prime
did
Minister-
Mr. Akhilesh
Gaurav
Yadav
Bhatia, please
resign?
Don't shout. This is not,
Oh.
not Taliban studio. You can go back and shout in
Listen.
front of Adityanath if you have the courage.
Osama
But
bin
let me respond.
Laden,
It's my turn
don't
to
tell me.
respond.
Sir,
I
let
will
him
not
bin
respond.
Laden, you
You
don't
Gaurav
need to
Bhatia,
tell
let
me.
him
Taliban
respond.
Singh and shout in front of
Gaurav,
him if
let
you have
him
the courage.
respond.
Allow me to respond.
Yes, why do you
Osama
want the
bin
chief
Laden,
minister
you
to
don't
resign?
need to tell me what to
Allow me to
do.
respond.
Please,
Gaurav Bhatia,
Rajdeep
you
will
can
tell me,
go
not
and
you.
shout in
लड़के
front of
हैं,
Taliban
लड़कों से
Singh.
गलती हो
He is
जाती
your
है.
leader.
ये
Please go and
लड़के
shout in
हैं,
front of him.
रोज गलती करते हैं.
Okay, okay.
Well, the chief minister must resign because he
लड़के
is
हैं,
office. banned
लड़कों से
this
गलती
entire
हो जाती है,
criminal
याद है?
action against
Apologize
the girl,
करवा
her
दीजिएगा,
family,
आइए
ना
debate करने.
even in her death, UP does not need a Taliban Singh as chief minister.
Okay, let
Mr.
me leave it there.
Rajdeep, can I respond?
No, let me leave it there because I need to move on. Clearly, this will become another slanging match. The fact is, a young woman has died, and if the charge sheet is right, it is saying that she was raped and murdered. And there will be certainly questions therefore raised over whether there was an attempted cover-up. And those responsible for it must be held accountable. Governments change, sadly the police doesn't. Thank you both very much for joining me, Gaurav Bhatia and Ghanshyam Triwari. Let's turn to the other big story, the agriculture confrontation over the farm laws. The top 5 developments related to the farm laws showdown. As protests against farm laws refuse to die down, Prime Minister Modi today assured farmers on the farm laws once again. The Prime Minister said there are enough safeguards present in the law and has promised that at no stage will the laws end MSP. He was speaking to farmers in Madhya Pradesh.
6 महीने हो गए, कानून लागू हो गया। हिंदुस्तान के किसी कोने में कहीं पर भी एक भी मंडी बंद नहीं हुई है। फिर क्यों झूठ फैलाया जा रहा है?
Despite assurances from Prime Minister Modi, farmers though are refusing to budge. Farmers say they will end their protests only when the centre rolls back laws. The farmers have also appealed to the Prime Minister to speak to them at Delhi borders where they are camping, not speak in Madhya Pradesh. Also, the Congress has hit back saying that the Prime Minister should have addressed the mandis of Madhya Pradesh as due to these laws, half of them have been forced to close. Also importantly, dissent is brewing in the Haryana BJP. A former union minister and BJP leader Birinder Singh created ripples by extending his support to the farmers' protests. He sat on a dharna in Rohtak. And joining us now is a very special guest, Union Minister in the Narendra Modi government, and many would say the Punjabi Sikh face in the Modi government. Hardeep Singh Puri joins us. Appreciate your joining us, Mr. Puri. Punjab has emerged as the epicenter of the farmer agitation, and there's a fear that the Modi government is losing the hearts and minds of the Punjabi people. How do you respond?
The Modi government at the level of the Prime Minister himself has just reached out to every single farmer in the country. The Prime Minister has spoken from the heart. He has assured them that the broad range of demands that were put forward, whether those related to the MSP or the mandis or dispute resolution or the apprehensions that they had that the private sector would make inroads into their land, he has given them all the assurances that they required. I have absolutely no doubt that the Prime Minister's message, coming as it did from his heart, will resonate amongst the people of Punjab, amongst the stakeholders, and that this will result in a positive response from them. I can share with you, Rajdeep, personally also, those of us who have the privilege of having friends and relatives, all the feedback that we've been getting is that the genuine demands of the farmers, the government is not only ready to meet, but it is willing to enter into an extended dialogue or negotiation to see if there are any gaps, if there are some other side issues which need to be addressed, government is willing.
Mr. Puri, the feedback that we are getting and indeed anecdotal evidence from the ground suggests that Punjab in a sense has been in ferment since September. The farmers have been blocking rail tracks. They've now come to the outskirts of Delhi, and this cuts across all divisions in Punjab. And that's the concern. A border state like Punjab, in ferment for the last couple of months, clearly somewhere the Punjabi farmer in particular appears to not be taken in by the Prime Minister's assurances.
Well, the Prime Minister's assurances have just come a few minutes or a little while ago. What has been on the table it is since September is also very clear. When the agitation was beginning in an embryonic form, and when the discussion was taking place, there was the apprehension that MSP will be done away with. What did the government do? They decided to bring forward the procurement season by 8-9 days. How much of MSP procurement has taken place? 20% beyond the target for the state. 25% over last year. The government has given categorical assurances that MSP is here to stay. The mandis are here to stay. So I'm a little surprised that this message is not resonating.
Why?
Has the goalpost
No, so why
changed?
is it not?
I don't think so. I think there are some people...
No, so why is it not? Why is this message not resonating in Punjab? Somewhere maybe the Modi government has got its Punjab, maybe has taken the farmers of Punjab for granted, or maybe the system of APMC and mandis in a state like Punjab, which has the highest procurement of rice and wheat, doesn't want the system changed. Why why try and fix something when it's not broken, is what the Punjabi seems to be saying.
Well, the demand for reform, Rajdeep, has been around for 2 decades. The very people who today are questioning the need for reform are the ones who were in the forefront of the reform. I can give you the instance when Shri Sharad Pawarji, who comes from your state, was the agriculture minister. He set up a committee which was chaired by Sardar Prakash Singh Badal. I can give you the recommendation, para 5.13 of that committee. I can tell you what the Congress party said in its election manifesto. I am 100% convinced that the essential core of the offer is now beginning to seep in. Punjab, the farmer and people are beginning to realize, if, you say, how do you fix it? That's a very easy term to use. But I would say it takes 2 to tango. The government has shown its earnest willingness, its desire to somehow find a solution. And believe me, the most difficult of negotiation can always be resolved through dialogue and negotiation. But you have to know whom you are negotiating with. I fully empathize with our farmers who are staging this protest. They are our andatas. They have produced the Green Revolution. They are reasonable people. Now, if there has been some misunderstanding, I'm not even using the word misled. If there has been some lack of communication, or if we have not been able to fully utilize our margin of persuasion, I think the message from the government side is we are ready and willing. Come back, talk, and we will find a solution.
Your ally till not too long ago, in fact, at one stage, your oldest ally, the Akalis. This is what Sukhbir Singh Badal said the other day. The BJP is the real tukde gang in the country. It has smashed national unity to pieces, shamelessly inciting Hindus against Muslims, and now desperate setting peace-loving Punjabi Hindus against their Sikh brethren, especially farmers. They are pushing patriotic Punjabis into communal flames. How do you respond to that? These are allies of yours now who are suggesting that the government is playing with fire.
Rajdeep, I don't want to dignify what Mr. Badal Jr. has said. I think that as somebody who has held positions of responsibility, both in the governance architecture and the position he holds, I don't want to comment on your term of an erstwhile ally. I am absolutely convinced that some of the statements he made extolling the virtues of these acts, these are the things that they have demanded themselves, and the additional safeguards which we are willing to put on the table. The time is not ripe, I think, for us to, the General Secretary of my party, Tarun Chugh, has already responded to him. I don't want to further dignify this comment, but I think in times when he has a chance to seriously introspect on what he has said, he will realize the folly of some of these statements.
You know, the reason I'm asking you this, and you've of course worked in the foreign service as well, the sensitivity of a state of a border state like Punjab, as I said earlier, being in foment. You've got the Union Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad, your colleague, saying there is evidence that the ongoing farmers' protest has been overtaken by the Tukde gang. You've got Union Minister Piyush Goyal saying farmers' movement infiltrated by leftists and Maoists. Union Minister Rao Sahib Danve saying China and Pakistan are behind the ongoing farmer protests. There are others in your social media team who are suggesting Khalistanis are behind these protests. Does that not worry you? That if Punjabi Sikh farmers who are protesting in 4 degrees temperature in winter are going to be identified as Khalistanis, it'll only lead to more anger and alienation.
Rajdeep, I have spent 40 years in another profession. I am not easily tempted to use language like that. I start and I center my comments on the fact that there are some farmers' grievances that other sections of society, inside or outside, might like to hijack that and put it to political purposes. I think there are enough people sitting in protest who have told politicians who have tried to come there, including some of my young colleagues from an opposition party, and they were shouted out. There were people who tried to distribute T-shirts of a group that you mentioned. I don't even like to take their name. I completely abhor such activity, and they've been shown their way. We want to deal with the genuine farmers, and we want to address their genuine issues.
No. So do you concede, therefore, that it would serve no one's purpose to brand farmers as in any way Khalistanis or Naxalites or Maoists, that this in a way is again hurting, alienating and angering the Punjabi mindset?
First of all, let's not talk about the Punjabis, the Sikhs, the farmers. They are staunch nationalists. They have given their hard work to the Green Revolution. They have produced our current levels of economic well-being. Now, if somebody brings in extraneous consideration that you release so-and-so from prison, or somebody who's wanting a secessionist or a fragmentation of the country tries to make statements from outside, my best foot forward on this is ignore these people. I think the Prime Minister has addressed the core of the issue on all fronts, and I have taken very careful note. Government has given written assurance about MSP. States may be allowed to tax private mandis. Farmers will have the option to go to court to resolve any dispute. States will have the right to register into farming agreements. No one can acquire the land of farmers. There is no question of any, usurpation of their land. Contractors cannot make any permanent changes.
All these assurances could have been given in Parliament in September. The point is that you push through these bills without realizing the fallout of them, especially in Punjab, as I said, a rice wheat producing state which benefits from MSP, which benefits from the APMC system, the Mandi system. And suddenly now the government has realized and now is giving these assurances. Why couldn't you give these assurances instead of pushing through the bill in Parliament in a hurry?
Rajdeep, are you an objective anchor,
yes,
or are you the spokesman of people who are trying to put a false narrative? You've done this to me on civil aviation earlier, and I've had to plus the facts in front of you. You are doing precisely that.
I'm only telling you what
this is
my
not
job
journalism.
as an anchor, sir, my job as an anchor is to ask the questions.
Hold on. I will tell you. I will tell you. Allow me to speak. If you have me on your program,
Please
allow
go
me
ahead.
to speak. The situation is the same assurances. Allow me to speak. The same assurances could have been given to them in Parliament. Take a footage of that. Who are the people who came in to the well of the House? Who are the people who climbed on the dais and broke the presiding officer's mic? We said it then. The Akalis wanted a statement at the highest level. Even though Parliament was in session, the Prime Minister gave that statement to the Akalis. Then they were not satisfied. This is when they were extolling the virtues of of this kind of Reform Act. Sardar Prakash Singh Badal was chairing that committee which recommended these things. And let me tell you, when they said we need a letter from Narendra Singh Tomarji, we provided the letter. Today we have gone a step further. So let's step back a bit.
Right.
Let's try and isolate people who speak with a forked tongue. I don't have anybody in mind, and I would advise you as a objective anchor to gain credibility.
So why?
What about the 3,500 crores a day loss that is being occurred? What about all the other hardships which are being given to the people? Today, all sane, well-intentioned people should be try and find a way forward out of this problem.
So why
to find a resolution?
So why do you
and
think
the government is ready? Please do your job.
Sure.
Please do your job as a journalist.
So why?
Do your job as a journalist and encourage the other
Sir,
side
my
to come
my
to
job
the
as a
table.
journalist is to show what's happening on the ground. On the ground in Punjab, you know better than most also, there is anger. Now you are saying it could be because of a misunderstanding. Some others say it's miscommunication. As I said, there are your own cabinet colleagues who say that other agendas have got mixed in. You've got a cabinet colleague who unfortunately went and said China and Pakistan, but forget that for a moment. I ask you this, if the Prime Minister's assurances, and you're saying they are heartfelt, why is it that the Punjab Sikh farmer is not accepting it? Is it that one nation, one market is a concept which doesn't work in India because different markets are at different, operated in very different circumstances. So maybe the Punjabi farmer feels very differently to a farmer from another part of the country.
Rajdeep, no matter which way you look at the problem, agriculture is a sector is crying out for reform. I can tell you, I can draw your attention to a report of the National Bank on Agriculture and Rural Development, a study in 2018. But apart from that, let me give you a few statistics. Soak these in. Today, roughly 65% of India's population lives in rural areas. About 42% of our workforce is engaged in agriculture, and yet agriculture accounts for only about 15.96% of our GDP. The sole objective of the Modi government, as against the previous UPA dispensation, is to put money in the pockets of the farmer. The agricultural budget has gone up 6 times, 134,000 crores. We have paid out 97,000 crores on crop insurance. And we are willing to produce a system which makes the farmers sustainable. Now, we found that a study showed that 52% of farm families were in debt on an average of about 1 lakh rupees per family. We need to change that. That can change. Whilst all this was going on, 30% of the agricultural produce goes into what is called wastage. Wastage because you don't have cold storage, you don't have infrastructure. Now here is an attempt which all educated people, including distinguished members of the Fourth Estate, should welcome. This reform has been in the offing for 20 years.
So I think
today, a government which has the resolve is willing to put it forward.
Sir,
and
therefore, it's not for me to accept the reform. The farmers must accept it.
Take time to sell.
So the reform must be accepted by the farmers. The worry is, why are the farmers of Punjab not accepting the reforms? That's the question.
Well, Prime Minister has made the statement today. You are trying to heighten. I have messages, informal, through the back channel, from even people in governance structures in Punjab, saying all the demands have been met, all you need now is a little face saving, and please do that. So please don't try and utilize your channel for partisan political purposes. I'm making a very serious assertion here on this channel that the tone of your remarks is designed to play up these differences on the Punjab farmers. Since when were you a representative of the farmers of Punjab? I don't even know how much of the farming of Maharashtra you are familiar with. Talk to Mr. Sharad Pawar. He was the agriculture minister. He represented.
And the same Sharad Pawar went to the president calling for the repeal of the laws.
Have a look at it.
Sir, the same Sharad Pawar, as you know, went to the president of India a few days ago calling for the repeal of the farm laws. What does that suggest? That either politicians are hypocritical, which is possible, or in some way that there are politicians who believe that these reforms need to be better designed.
I don't think I need a tutorial or technical assistance on how to sell reform. I think the government is acutely conscious of the difficulty it is to sell difficult reform, because at some stage vested interests don't allow the correct message to go through. So if there has been any shortcoming, we have now reached at every level. The Prime Minister has made a categorical assurance to the farmers, and I am personally convinced that based on this, in the coming few days, you will see light at the end of the tunnel, and we will see forward movement.
One final question, therefore. Do you have a message for the Punjab Chief Minister, Captain Amrinder Singh, the opposition there, the Akalis, the Aam Aadmi Party, and indeed your own party? Do you have a message for the people of Punjab? Because I repeat, it is they who need to be convinced. So do you have a final message for them? Because this has become such an emotive issue. It's resonated even in global capitals, as you know. What is your message to the larger Punjabi community out there? Because as I said, they are at the epicenter of the protests.
Well, all I can say is that as a proud Punjabi, as a proud Sikh, I have full empathy for what are concerns. But equally, I think they should try and understand that the central government, you have not had a central government as responsive to their true aspiration in terms of agricultural reform. You know, the previous government used to allow loans to go up. When I was a secretary in the government, they waived a 70,000 crore loan. The idea here is to genuinely reform, and I'm sure that all of us working together will do the prachar at the appropriate level, and that my brothers and sisters who are in Punjab will realize that this is something. You can't say my way or the highway. We will explain, we will reason, and if there are any further steps to be taken, you will find in the Prime Minister somebody who has both the political bandwidth and the commitment and the feeling for Punjab to be able to find that resolution.
Hardeep Singh Puri, you've spoken very passionately on this issue, angrily at times. Please remember, as a journalist, my job is to ask questions. You are the person who has to give the answers. I promise you that I will ask the same questions with the same intensity to the opposition as well, and question them as well. My job is to question all.
I will look forward to your showing your customary vehemence and persistence with those who are fomenting this agitation. I look forward to that, and I always enjoy talking to you, even if it is a bit feisty and sometimes with the gloves off. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hardeep Singh Puri there, joining us, Union Minister in the Narendra Modi government. Thank you very much. Let's turn to our Only in India package. It's going to be Christmas and New Year in a few days from now. But my state of Goa is facing a peculiar problem. There is a beef shortage in the state. Now, the state's large Catholic community has beef in many of its dishes for Christmas and during the New Year period. It has a BJP-ruled government. But there is a problem. While the Chief Minister of Goa says he will resolve the beef shortage, in another BJP-ruled state, Karnataka, the anti-cow slaughter bill means that beef is not coming in from neighboring Karnataka into Goa. The gloom of the Goans is clearly evident, with beef missing from their plates during Christmas. Our Only in India story, how two BJP-ruled states, one where there is no beef, one which wants beef. Here is more.
Christmas and the New Year are around the corner. Goa is all set to welcome 2021. But one dish is missing from the menu: beef. The meat industry in Goa is hit hard due to the impending anti-cow and buffalo slaughter law in Karnataka. The state imports tons of beef from Karnataka.
गोवा में बीफ शॉर्टेज इसलिए है कि कर्नाटक गवर्नमेंट ने बिल पास किया है ना, एक्चुअली वो बिल अभी तक पास नहीं हुआ है, आधा बचा है. तो अभी इधर इसलिए वो बैन इसलिए हुआ है कि हमको कर्नाटक से सप्लाई इधर आता है गोवा में, तो इसलिए अभी हमको नहीं आ रहा है सप्लाई.
The proposed changes in the law in Karnataka have left the Goans fuming.
Actually, see, since it's a Christmas, so we don't have any more variety to put on our serve on our plate. Actually, so there are very few dishes what we can serve people.
30% of our population, Catholic population, they are depending on this beef. And just before Christmas, this government is clueless. Anytime, they're taking any kind of decisions. So I'm sorry for, whatever is happening.
The anger in the state has forced Chief Minister Pramod Sawant to step in.
बीफ बैन कर्नाटक में जो हुआ उसके बारे में कल रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स मुझे मिले हैं, उन्होंने उनका कंसर्न रेज किया है। आज तक गोवा में जो बीफ आता था वो कर्नाटक से ज़्यादा आता था। सो मैंने आज मेरे सेक्रेटरी वेटरनरी और डायरेक्टर ऑफ एनिमल हस्बेंड्री इनको बुलाया है, लोगों की व्यवस्था की जाएगी।
While the Goa government is hopeful of importing beef from the neighbouring state, the BJP in Karnataka says the state will not export any beef.
The Karnataka government will not be supplying even a kg of meat to any other place. It becomes illegal. So I am sure the state government will convince the Goa Chief Minister of the position in Karnataka, and he would be made to know that cow slaughtering is banned in Karnataka.
The Karnataka Prevention of Slaughter and Preservation of Cattle Bill 2020 was passed by the State Assembly on December 9. It proposes to ban slaughter of cows and bulls and buffaloes below the age of 13 years. Violators will face 3 to 7 years in jail. The bill is yet to be passed by the Legislative Council. The B.S. Yediyurappa government is now considering issuing an ordinance.
After Maharashtra imposed beef ban in 2015, Karnataka had emerged as a big supplier of beef to Goa. But now, with barely a week to go for Christmas, Goa government is mulling over what best it can do at such short notice. With Harish Walvaikar in Goa, Vidya in Mumbai for India Today.
Only in India, as one politician said, beef is yummy for some, mummy for others. Goa celebrates its 60 years of liberation tomorrow. Let's hope that at least no one interferes with their food on the plate. Let's leave you with our image of the day. It comes from Kashmir, where a man sings a Kashmiri song to a Maina and the Maina responds. The translation for this Kashmiri song goes like, "Little sparrow, won't you tell the parrot there be any cure for death?" Thanks for watching. Stay well, stay healthy. Good night, goodbye.
Satinam